And as every ologist would certainly note, I had no strong male figure, right? But Lily Scott was absolutely not your mail order, room service, typecast black grandmother. I was moved in with her, temporarily, just until things were patched. Till this was
Gil Scott-Heron was an American beat poet or jazz poet, probably best known for his protest track, The Revolution Will Not Be Televised. He worked with a variety of different musical backings and occasionally sang as well. He released his first album in 1971, and his 16th was released in 2014, posthumously after his death in 2011. Hi, my name is Dan, and this is a review of the album I'm New Here by Gil Scott-Heron. It was released in 2010. It was his 15th and final studio album released during his lifetime, and at the time it was his first in 16 years, so a big gap between. This is my first time into this album. I have come across some of his earlier work, so I know of him. So how am I going to describe this? I would say that the backing is a mixture of like post-industrial electronica. Okay, somebody else said that, I picked that out, but it seems to work. Down tempo, kind of almost dark ambient, I would say, with acoustic or not with, and sometimes acoustic instrumental backing. So a kind of mixture between quite dark soundscape stuff and quite tripped back instrumental stuff. And then some of them are sung songs, but mostly we've got spoken word of some kind. Poetry, I think, is probably the right term for what's going on here. It certainly wouldn't, I wouldn't call it rap. And it's a combination that seems to work, and it doesn't. So the different musical or sound backings don't clash with each other, and they don't clash with the vocals either. It seems to be a coherent feel that's going on here. There are a few covers here, but most of them are tracks written by Gail. One of the covers is a cover of a Bill Callahan song. And I didn't know that on my first listen. So when I found out, I went, oh, yeah, actually, I checked out the track and yes, I can hear Bill Callahan singing that. It sounds very much like his kind of song. Musically, it's okay. Actually, maybe slightly better than okay. It went down quite well. He's less keen on the singing tracks. His voice is okay, but it sounds a bit strangled. But that's not the thing. The thing is that his speaking voice is really nice. It's a really good listen. He sounds to me, very Morgan Freeman, the actor. And he's got good delivery, as you might imagine, for somebody who's been known for his poetry over music. So it's an interesting album. There's some interesting content. I especially like the bookends, which are on Coming from a Broken Home, and there's two different parts to that. I have said this before in other situations, and I think that the spoken word for an album is an odd thing, because I think it has a different place to music generally in how it's listened to. It certainly is for me. And I think that the difference is that with a lot of music, you can listen and have a chat with somebody else at the same time. With spoken word, you can't really do that. You have to really focus your attention to it, and if you're ignoring it, you're really not doing it a service. So I think as a result, its place is different from a musical album. I think also for me, it might not be true for everybody, that things that are spoken word or have spoken word significantly in them, I tend to revisit less often than I would of something that I like as much that's a musical album. But that's just a kind of perspective thing, and it's a decent album. I enjoyed it quite a lot. I don't have anything much deeper than that to say. But of course, this is my opinion, and I'd love to know what your opinion is. So please talk to me. Tell me what you think of the album, what you think of the review. Don't be too harsh, please. If you've got any reminiscences about this album or anything else from Gil Scott-Heron, I'd love to hear from you. But that's it from me for now.
I did not become someone different that I did not want to be. But I'm new here. Will you show me around? No matter how far wrong